Maat, you have the floor.
Hello. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ms. Chair. On behalf of Maat for Peace, Development and Human Rights, we would like to express our sincere thanks to France for its leadership of the Working Group on Effective Implementation. We also wish to acknowledge and appreciate Sierra Leone's management of the working groups and its work across subgroups in last February. We would like to begin by offering some general observations on the work of the sub-working group on national implementation practices, and in particular the absence of a shared agreed definition of brokering within the framework of the treaty. Despite the adoption by many states parties of national definitions for this activity, those definitions are often overly narrow. As a result, weapons have continued to reach armed groups and terrorist groups in a number of conflict settings, particularly across the Arab region. For example, Maat has documented, among other cases, networks of brokering and intermediation involving security and military companies, mercenaries and individuals involved in transferring arms to the Rapid Support Forces in Sudan. These include, among others, the Military Security Company International Service Agency, as well as Libya's Subul al-Salam Battalion, in addition to individuals such as Abdullah Abjuzuli and Abdullah Shaghab, who were involved in overseeing arms transfers to the Rapid Support Forces. Mr. Facilitator, Maat believes it will be useful to discuss the challenges faced by states parties in developing a comprehensive definition of brokering. That includes any activity that directly or indirectly facilitates, arranges, or supports the transfer or the diversion of arms and ammunition, particularly those logistical, financial, advisory, and transport-related activities linked to that transfer. This should ensure that arms do not reach unsafe hands. We also propose that such a definition be reviewed periodically every 5 years to account for technological developments and changes like arms transfers. In our view, including this definition either within the voluntary guidelines or as a recommendation to the 12th conference would help close a significant gap in practical implementation and would strengthen cooperation between national and international agencies to identify and prevent illicit brokering networks. Mr. Facilitator, with respect to the role of industry in responsible international transfers of conventional arms, we would like to underline the importance of drawing on high-risk due diligence frameworks applied by sectors, particularly the conflict mineral sector. Global electronics companies such as Samsung and LG have developed stringent due diligence frameworks that require companies to conduct comprehensive risk assessments across their supply chains. These frameworks identify risks related to human rights violations in conflict-affected areas and require mitigation measures, including verified sourcing of minerals through accepted reporting templates and independent third-party audits. In addition, the monitoring and surveillance technology sector provides further practical examples of applying more robust due diligence approaches, especially performing independent risk assessments prior to exports, focusing on recipients' records of human rights violations and designing mechanisms for early detection of misuse. The arms industry can benefit from these experiences to strengthen its processes when military equipment, as some of these supplies contribute to facilitating war crimes and crimes against humanity. One example is the responsibility of major defense companies such as Boeing, Lockheed Martin, RTX, Raytheon, and BAE Systems in providing military equipment used by Israeli occupation forces in committing war crimes, as well as crimes against humanity in Gaza, southern Lebanon, and other locations. Finally, in light of the additional guidance proposed under Article 7.4, we consider it essential to add a point addressing whether the receiving state has a record of supporting armed groups or parties to an armed conflict using military equipment that enables the commission of crimes of violence against women and children. Such states may, in one way or another, be implicated in diversion to those groups or in supporting governments involved in the gravest human rights violations. Thank you.
I thank Maat.